top is missing. The opposition and all that lane switching. This is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You were Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the New York Jets. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Okay, ready? 57. What's the run? They're running it. Shift.
The former Florida Gator, Jordan Scarlett, the rookie with a carry. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Scarlett. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. This is Scarlett on the carry. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
That's another Dolphins.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered.
And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Ready. 60 out block. 54. I'm scared. Hurry. Run.
After the run, Kaya now going to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Vincent Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
You know, as a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they designed a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice fast start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're here to compete.
And get this home crowd behind them early as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Because you get the home crowd involved, sometimes you can ride that wave, and that gives you a little added pep.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Watch the shot.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass.
Yes.
Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold. That's caught left side by Bellamy. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. On first down, Darnold. Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Dante Fowler make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now Bell. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs.
Hey, Foxtrot. What's that? Check Michael Allen, I got him.
Darnold from the gun. He wants it all for the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Austin Safarian Jenkins. His 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. this game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent. Looking to add on here in the second quarter.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Throwing is Kaya. And throw right side complete to Parker. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 20-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Go. Technique.
They'll run it with Scarlett. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
I got you, boy. 6 guys, 61. Matchbox, right. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Ready.
Now a give here to Scarlett. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher third down looming. And the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on third. A shotgun snap for Kaya. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Artie Burns, the cornerback, brings him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Flush to his right. Airing one out for Crowder, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here this first half. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Kaya. And a throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now the question, what do you do here? Time not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you need a good 50, 60 yards deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. The point after now for Aguayo. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Darnold. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Darnold. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Kaya. He's got Smith here. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. On the handoff, it's Scarlett, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson. As the first half is winding down. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 80 weapon. 80 weapon. That's all right. Go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get this back to just the 20 with a penalty marker down. Let's see what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Darnold now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Back to throw, Darnold. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Hey, high 7. Squeeze. Switch up, switch up.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 28. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Got it. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Come on, boy. There you go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Pro Bowler C.J. Mosley, the Ravens' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Greystone travel. Greystone travel. Ready.
Out of the gun, Kaya. And Kaya unable to escape. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and 4th down coming up. Here's Matt Hawk now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Crowder now to return. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Darnold now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Now Darnold. That's caught right side by Anderson. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Darnold completes it.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Jared Davis drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They turn to Scarlett again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. From the gun on third, Kaya looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
That's caught at the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will get him one closer. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Recon, 132 fight.
They will start the drive with Scarlett. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. The last run got 9. That leaves them with second and a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. The tackle there by Brian Poole. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 40. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7 at the 37-yard line.
On second down, here's Kaya. And over the middle, this is Parker. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 18. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more on that one and another first down.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Check 50, check 50. Alert 3, alert 3.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Brings up second and goal.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. On the draw, it's Scarlett. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jordan Scarlett, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. So on third down, they dialed up the draw play. It worked. Got him in the end zone.
As one of our colleagues likes to say, calling the draw, everyone wants to yell all the time when the draw doesn't work. Like, what kind of play call was that? But it takes a little bit of fortitude to do that, and because you may catch them with the element of surprise and hit it. And in this case, they hit it for pay dirt.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34.
Let's bring it.
Now it's Darnold rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. And it's third and short. Here's Darnold. And he finds Safarian-Jenkins. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. On first and 10, Darnold. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Jordan Jenkins showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's first and 10. And a give this time to the tailback. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Kaya. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jakeem Grant with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Aguayo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward. Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Darnold. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 16 yards, a 1st down. The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off through the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Darnold on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. Enunwa the intended target. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on.